ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। We finished the Bhashya to 24? Yes. लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः। Together. लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः। ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधाः यतात्मानः ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं सर्वभूतहिते रताः ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं लभन्ते. Here, summing up this towards the close, conclusion of this, summing up this whole discussion, Bhagavan Krishna talks about how to become a Brahma Bhuta. Remember this whole Brahma Bhuta, Brahmani Sthitaha, how to be, and then we got one hint of it here, Antasukhaha, Antararamaha, Antarjyotihi, and that is the one who is more inward than outward. Everything is inward. Entertainment inward. Sukha inward. Nothing is gained from outward. The person who does not depend on outward conditions for one's own happiness or for one's own entertainment, this was totally seen. Okay, then what did we see? Then we saw that this is the one who is Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta means Jivan Mukta. And then Brahma Nirvanam Richati means one meaning we can take is gets Videha Mukti. But Videha Mukti, I said, is only from the standpoint of the person who has not yet studied Vedanta, Ajnani. Because from the standpoint of the Jnani, as the clarity comes, what clarity? I'm not this body mind sense complex, the association or the identification with the body is also gone. So this one tells how to become a Brahma Bhuta. So first what happens? First you are a Rishi. Rishi means what? You bring in Shravanam. Rishati Janati iti Rishihi. Janati means knows. What do they know? They know Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam Janati. So they know Atma Jnanam. So they become what? Rishihi, Rishayaha. And then, so they know Atma Jnanam. And what do they do next? What do they become next? Kshina Kalmashaha. It's step by step. So they study Atma Jnanam, and as they are studying, Kshina Kalmashaha means free of Raga, Dvesha. That is Kalmasha. Kalmasha means impurities. So impurities, Raga, Dvesha, strong preferences, prejudices, Kama, Krodha, desire, anger, what else? Lobha, greed, avarice, and then Mada, pride, Matsarya, jealousy. All these are kalmashas. Why? Because they come in the way of gaining this. They are obstacles coming in the way of understanding or enjoying rather the truth of oneself. So first they Rishati, Janati, they are sannyasi like, they study, they immerse themselves in the knowledge, they study the Vedanta, and then what? At the same time, what are they becoming? Kshina Kalmashaha, free of impurities. So, what was there? Atma Jnana pursuit, Karma Yoga, because that's how you become free of impurities. So, when it says here, Kshina Kalmashaha, how did they become Kshina Kalmashaha? Because they learned to serve without expecting that everything will go their own way. They learned to serve as a way of self-growth, they learned to serve. The only thing they expected was Antahkarana Shuddhi. So Kshina Kalmashaha is a nod to Atma Jnanam. Then what is the next one? Chinnadvaidhaha. So Rishayaha means Shravanam, because they, otherwise how do you become a knowledgeable person? Chinnadvaidha means free of all doubts. What makes you free of all doubts? Mananam. So Shravanam, and then what is Chinnadvaidha? It's a nod to Upalakshana for Mananam. So Chinnadvaidha and Yatatmanaha. Yatatmanaha means self-mastery. Self-mastery through Nididhyasanam or Upasana. Upasana. Through Upasana Yoga or through Nididhyasanam they have self-mastery. And then what happens? Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha. So Sarvabhuta Hite Ratihi Yasya Saha. So Yeshamte. So what is their delight? Their delight is in other people's delight, they delight. So when the other people are in a comfortable situation, then they delight. Meaning, these jnanis are very agreeable people. You will not find a disagreeable jnani. You will not. The two are anathema. Disagreeable and jnani cannot, do not, must not, should not go together. And because what will happen? Disagreeable means what? Everything is everything is a big deal. And somebody says, can I do this? And the jnani says, absolutely not. Can I go here? No. And can I have this? No. We would like to build a temple. Can you please come to the inauguration? What are you going? Where is the temple? Who is it for? And what's there in the temple? The Bhagavan is sitting in your heart. Did you not see in Kathopanishad just now? And then, so that kind of a jnani you will not find. Why? As the 3rd chapter, the verse says, what is that? Na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnaninam karma sanginam. Which was 26th or 25th, right? 26th. So, na buddhi bhedam janayet. Don't mix up people. Your role in the society is to encourage everybody and to help everybody find God in whatever way they want to and in whatever way they are ready. They may not be ready for Vedanta. They may be just ready to build a temple. But then building a temple is not easy. How much money? And they are ready to give that money. So don't say, what a waste of money. Go to a cruise instead. Don't build the temple. Don't do that. Or even better yet, give the money to me. I'll give you instant vairagya. Why are you wasting your time on building the temple? Like this, that is not sarva bhuta hite rataha. So, rata means those who are happy. The rati, the delight is where they are delighted with wherever people are and wherever they are physically, emotionally, materially, and in terms of what the people wish to do, they are guided by that and they don't impose their will, including Vedanta, saying this is the best thing for you. Haven't you studied Kathopanishad? Haven't you studied Kenopanishad? Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, na idam yadidam upasate. Brahman is not what you worship at the altar. And what do you want to do after studying Kenopanishad? You want to build altar? No need. So these kinds of things are not told. So the jnani is a person of least resistance. Least resistance. And that makes them, that, if at least from the standpoint of the onlookers, this is a quality of the jnani that makes them vulnerable to so many people taking advantage of them. This is how we all used to think about Pujya Swamiji. Like, he would be so sick. Somebody would say, please come and okay, and coughing, fever. And then we didn't know all this in those days. I hadn't studied 5th chapter yet. So I would frown at the person. Don't you see how sick he is? Why do you want to take him all the way there? And then so much dust and dirt and allergens and the cold will get more. This is what I was thinking. So I would not say anything. I would just, at the most give them a slightly disagreeable look. Like, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this? And I would ask Swamiji, why do you do this? They want this of me. And then it makes me happy. If he just stopped at, they want this of me, then that is a description of what? In one of the satsang questions we had, doormat. So doormat, no, it's not about doormat. So they want this of me. That's part of the story. I would enjoy doing this with them, for them. That's the other part of the story. So the jnani is never disagreeable and is therefore a delight. The jnani's delight becomes everybody's delight, because here is a person who is just with me. Whatever I want to do, the person is not, putting a ice cube on that plan, cold ice cube. No, this is why you have to do this. Vedanta is teaching you this and you are going against. No, you understand. The jnani understands that this is where the person is at. And wherever the person is at, that is a law, that is Bhagavan. So in not going against people, situation, things, the Jnani doesn't go against Bhagavan, does not transgress Bhagavan. Okay. So then that is Sarvabhuta Hite Ratha. Yatatmanaha means the mind has been mastered by whom? Disciplined by whom? So this is the one. Labhante, they get Brahman, they get the knowledge of Brahman, they get moksha. Who? These are the people who are who have done Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, who have done Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga, or what else is it called? Nididhyasanam. And the Jnana Phala is in Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha. What is the Jnana Phala? There is no truck with anybody, no fight with anybody, no argument with anybody, just delight in the welfare of everybody, and that is the Jnana Phala in the end. Bhashya. He doesn't think of adding much here. Adi Shankara. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam Moksham. Who Rishayaha? Who are Rishayaha? Samyak Darshinaha. The one who have clear vision. How did they get this clear vision? By study. Let's not forget that. Samyak Darshinaha, of clear vision of the Vedanta Shastra that says all that is here, small and big, all that is here, known and unknown, is what? Ishvara, Brahman. So who are they? Sannyasinaha. Either they are really sannyasis or mentally they have given up a lot of things, so they are sannyasis in that way. And who are they? Chinnadvaidhaha. Dvidha means a dilemma. Chinna samshayaha. So dvaidha means dilemma. That dvaidha is chinna for whom? So chinna means broken, broken up, torn asunder. Chinnaha dvaidhaha yesham te. So they are also called chinna samshayaha. And then yatatmanaha, samyatendriyaha, mastery over all the organs, sense organs and organs of action. Sarvabhuta hite rataha. This is the only one he describes in more than one word. Sarvesham bhutanam hite anukulye rataha. Anukulye rataha means they delight in doing that which is delightful to all beings. So they delight in the people, and whatever the people delight in, they delight, because it's not going to cost you much. You can't just so if somebody says something, and if you say no, it's okay, not a big deal. But even if you say yes, it's not going to cost you as much. It's not going to, you can just go out of the way for somebody and maybe they want to take a photo with you, or maybe they want to make you show something, where is this? And you have to walk a little way out of the way. And it's okay, because in the long run, what do you want is moksha. How does the person of moksha behave? The person of moksha behaves without any reservations. There is nothing to protect. We saw that in the Kathopanishad again and again. Na kinchit gopaitum ichhati, does not desire to protect anything, including one's time, space, etc. I told you the story of the ashram sweeper who wanted Swamiji, Pujya Swamiji, to write him a letter. And so normally everybody would have said, I am such a big man and he couldn't find anybody else or what. But he said he could find so many people, but he came to me. And he delighted in that. And so stories like this of all the saints and Mahatmas, help us to get there and open the heart, because all these are forcible ways of opening the heart. When you do what you don't want to do, the heart lotus blossoms a little. And then when you keep doing what you don't want to do, the heart lotus blossoms more and more, because the inner resistance and the inflexibility is gone. Going, gone. And then, doubts are dispelled, And then what else? The one is agreeable to, one finds anukulya means in keeping with the hita of the people, in keeping with whatever people find comfortable, taking delight. Ahimsakaha means what? They are not into violence in any which way. No himsa at all. And himsa, let us not forget, is in 3 ways. What are the ways of himsa? Kaya, through the body, vacha, manasa. 3 forms of himsas are not there for whom? Ahimsakaha. And then, moreover, what else happens to them? Kama krodha viyuktanam yatinam yatachetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam kama krodha viyuktanam yatinam yatachetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. So, very straightforward. All the anvayas for the following verses are very straight, and the ones that just came also very straightforward. All the things in the 6th case go together. Kama krodha viyuktanam, 6th case plural, yatinam ditto, yatachetasam ditto, and then viditatmanam ditto, abhitaha brahma nirvanam vartate. That is how to make it in the form of a sentence. So, viyukta means rahita, without, for who are free of the hold of kama and krodha. Who are they? Yatis, sannyasis. And who are they? Yatachetasam. Yatachetasam means whose antahkarana is tranquil, mastered. Abhitaha means everywhere. Abhitaha, everywhere. And here, generally it means everywhere, but here it means both. What both? Brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. So, both means what? While living free, after death also what? Free. That is what both here. Abhitaha means should be taken as ubhayataha. Brahma ubhayataha jivan eva, or after death maranat urdhvam brahma nirvanam vartate. Brahma nirvanam, the status of being one with Brahman, is there regardless of whether they are in this body or not. Who are these people? Viditatma. Who is Viditatma? Yeah. So now we know where his name came from. Yeah. So viditam atmanam yaihi. So viditatmanam. So the ones by whom the Atma is understood and well known. So for such people, whether they are alive or not makes no difference to them. To other people it may make a difference, but to them it makes no difference, because they are not, they are already free. Whether they are alive or not, they are free. Bhashya. Kama krodha viyuktanam. Kamascha krodhascha kama krodhau tabhyam viyuktanam, freed of that, freed of kama krodha. And then we have to bring in all the other 4 also. All the other 4 we bring in. Viyuktanam, who are they? Yatinam, sannyasinam. Sannyasinam, those who have left everything behind for the sake of this knowledge. Sannyasinam yatachetasam. Samyata antahkarananam. Yatachetasam, who has mastered the emotions, who has mastered the mind and the emotions. So antahkarana, who has mastered the emotions in the antahkarana. So ubhayatah jivatam mritanam va mokshah vartate. So regardless of whether they are in the body or not, they are free. Usually what the people of ajnanam think, as long as they are in the body, they are not free. The jnani is suffering. The jnani is in pain. The jnani is in sorrow. This is what they think. But here, from the standpoint of the jnani, if he or she had a body to transact with, okay. If they don't have a body to transact with, okay. No problem at all. Because they know the I is not at all connected to the body. So it makes no difference whether they are alive or not, they are the same. And how many people can say that? Yeah, whether I am alive or not, I am the same. Nobody can say that. And so therefore, sannyasinam jnaninam mokshaha vartate jivatam mritanancha. So then, viditaha jnataha atma yesham te. By whom the Atma is known, or the Atma is known for whom, those people, what are they? Viditatmanam samyak darshinam, meaning those who have very clear vision, correct vision. So then, samyak darshana nishthanam sannyasinam sadyo muktihi ukta karma yogaha cha ishvararpita svabhavena ईश्वरे ब्रह्मणि आधाय क्रियमाण सत्वशुद्धि ज्ञान प्राप्ति सर्वकर्म संन्यास क्रमेण मोक्षाय इति भगवान पदे पदे अब्रवीत वक्ष्यति च. So he makes a point here. So he says that repeatedly Bhagavan keeps telling us step by step, and will keep on telling us also, because after all we are in which chapter? 5th chapter. How many more chapters are there? 13 more chapters are there. So Bhagavan has ample opportunity to drive home and drill into our thick heads this message. And what is this message? The message is this Samyak Darshana Nishtha is what? Sadyo muktihi ukta. Sadyo muktihi ukta. So there is no such thing as krama mukti, videha mukti. All these things are from the standpoint of the ajnani. For the jnani, samyak darshana nishtha, the commitment to this clear vision is equal to instant moksha. There is a direct equation between the samyak darshana nishtha and sadyo muktihi. There is a direct connection. So the more clarity, the more instant the mukti feels. So, ukta karma yogascha ishwararpita buddhi ishwararpita sarva bhavena ishvare brahmani adhaya kriyamana sattva shuddhi jnana prapti sarva karma sannyasa kramena mokshaya. It was already talked. What was talked? Karma Yoga. So start with Karma Yoga. Even in the previous verse, the same thing was taught. Start with Karma Yoga. You do everything as a offering to Bhagavan. Get rid of, shake off the Kartritva Buddhi. Shake off the thought I am the actor or the victim of so many things, other people's actions. Ishvare Brahmani Adhaya Kriyamanaha. So all the jobs which I have to do, I put it in Bhagavan, and then I do it as a proxy. Ishvara is the proxy doer. And then what happens? Sattva shuddhi jnana prapti sarva sannyasa kramena. So then the person is on a roll, and the person is on a path. What are the stages of this path? First it says sattva shuddhi, kshina kalmashaha, we saw that. So the cleaning up of the emotions such as anger, fear, pain, sorrow, etc. from the present situation, and understanding that they belong to the past, and then dealing with the past. That is sattva shuddhi. And then karma yoga. And what is karma yoga? Karma yoga is ishvara arpita buddhi, ishvararpana buddhi. Everything that I do, I have this Sarvam Ishwaram Eva iti Bhavaha. And then, so then this was talked about that through Sattva Shuddhi, Karma Yoga, Jnana Sampatti, etc., one gets moksha only in this way. And the Lord has already talked about here and elsewhere, and will continue to talk about that also. But now there is a topic change. What is there? Atha idanim dhyana yogam samyak darshanasya antaranga vistarena vakshyati iti tasya sutrasthaniyan shlokan upadishati sma. So the next two verses, what are they? They are the sneak preview into chapter 6. If you want to just take a glance, I don't have time for chapter 6, but let me see what that is all about. Don't bother, just read these two verses and you will get an introduction to the subject matter of chapter 6. And so saying, what does Bhashyakara say here? Bhashyakara says, Atha idanim, now, therefore now, dhyana yogam samyak darshanasya antarangam. So to teach this dhyana yoga, teach meditation as a indirect means of Atmajnanam. Meditation is an indirect means of Atmajnanam because it helps with focus, and with the help of the focus, what can you do with the help of the focus? You can very, very clearly, with the help of this focus, understand the teaching when it is taught to you. That is what you can do with the help of the focus. And so therefore, this is the dwara, this is the krama, the order. So you get focus because of this. Antaranga vistarena vakshyami iti. Of course, I will be talking about it in detail. Where? 6th chapter A. Okay, 7th case, yeah. So in the 6th chapter, I will be talking about it in detail, Bhagavan says. But now, Atha idanim, just to show what is this dhyana yoga all about, sutrasthaniyan shlokan upadishati. So it is like a sutra, a connector, a thread which will take you to jump from chapter 5 to chapter 6. So small verses in a compact form are given, 28 and 27. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyan Chakshuschaivantare bhruvoh Pranapanau samau kritva Nasabhyantaracharinau Sparshan kritva bahirbahyan Chakshuschaivantare bhruvoh Pranapanau samau kritva Nasabhyantaracharinau. How to sit for meditation? ABC of meditation. The first, these two verses are, first is just about the technique of meditation. So what is the first use? Later it's going to say Shuchau Deshe Pratisthapya, etc. Sthiram Asanam, all these things it's going to say. Sthiram Sukham Asanam, how to sit, and don't sit in a pit for meditation. Pit is what? Underneath, like basement or pit, some kind of a pit which is below ground. Why? Insects may be there, and energetically also one feels low. One is in a low place. Okay, I'm going to the mountain top. Don't also go to the mountain top. Why? Because as soon as you start focusing, you'll feel like falling down. You'll say, oh my God, I just don't feel safe here, secure. So just the regular ground is enough. And then having sat for meditation, the first thing that is we have been doing when we meditate also is what? Sparshan kritva bahihi. Bahyan sparshan Bahihi Kritva. So this Bahishkaranam of the what? Sparshan, which are what? Inside. Sparsha means what? Sprishyante iti sparshaha. That which is contacted is called sparshaha. Here sparsha means impressions, memories, thoughts. Connected to what? Connected to the past. Sparshan, so the external world is what I have to deal with. So usually in the non-meditative state, what do I deal with? External world. So if I am not meditating, I am looking at what's there, what I have to do, who is coming in the window, who is there, how many monkeys are afoot. This is what I am seeing during the day, correct? Yeah, why? Because I have a monkey mind. That's why I am looking out for friends. And then, so this is what I do. I am relating to the external world when? In the non-meditative state. In the meditative state, what am I relating to? Internal world. And in a brilliant stroke of genius, Bhagavan Krishna says that this bifurcation is not actually so easy, because the external world seeps into the internal world in the form of memories. We saw this already. Open to page here. Let us just see. Just go 2 pages before. What is the number? 320 you go. 320 page, you will see what is this kama, shruyamana, smaryamana. So, shruyamana, smaryamana, anubhuta sukha hetu. Correct? And what is krodha? So, drishyamaneshu, shruyamaneshu, smaryamaneshu va. So so all these impressions that are carried. Very interesting, because for the kama it is in singular, and then all these things are plural for the krodha. I think more things make us angry and fewer things make us happy. That's what it shows. At least that's what Adi Shankara thinks. So the same thing. So the world, the inner world that we want to contact, and who is it that we want to contact? Sakshi. The Sakshi is occluded by all kinds of impressions. The external world enters, seeps inside and refuses to leave. Refuses to leave. Stays there in the form of chronic issues, long-standing desires, core issues, triggers, so many things. Refuses to leave, and so therefore what? So therefore sparshan bahyan bahihi kritva. Keep the external world outside. And of course, Pujya Swamiji came up with a brilliant method for this. What is the method? You go with the root cause of the external world coming inside, which is what? The first impressions. So visualize the father, visualize the mother, give them the freedom to be whoever they were, whoever they are. And then we see that our own perception may be flawed. So what do we say? In my perception. Whoever they were, let them be however. Because really speaking, everybody has 2 sets of parents. One objective, whether they are in this body or not, it doesn't matter. One is an objective set of parents. This is who they are or were. This was their name. This is their name. This is their nature, whatever it is. Objective. Another one, subjective, seeped internally in the antahkarana in the form of unrequited expectations, pains, sorrows, memories. So, we can't do anything about the external mother or father, because you can't try and go and change them even if they are in the body. And so therefore with the external mother and father, what do? You say, okay, this is how you are. And with the internalized mother and father also, when you accept the external mother and father as they are, the internalized mother and father are offloaded. You offload them while going deep into meditation. This offloading is called Bahishkaranam. So, Bhashya sparshan Bhashya sparshanam bahishkaranam, keeping the external world outside. So like this, many memories may come. Memories may come, not just unpleasant, pleasant memories also come. Oh, how nice it was. I went to this party, and so instead of Om Namah Shivaya, what is coming? Oh, what a wonderful party, Namaha. This is what is coming. These are the thoughts that are coming. This was such a nice party. How many people I saw after such a long time. In fact, staying in the ashram for 3 months, I forgot the spelling of party. And now I know what is this party in the dream, wonderful dream. And then even in the meditation, it becomes what? Daydream. Wonderful party, all these things. Nothing wrong. But you see, that becomes a distraction. Because what I want to do is have Chitta Naishchalyam by the repetition of Om Namah Shivaya and going within. So any other thing becomes a distraction. But suppose if I wanted to sit and think about the party, then Om Namah Shivaya becomes a distraction. You see, this is what I have set out to do. So if I want to sit and think about the party, Om Namah Shivaya doesn't belong there. I will just keep on reliving the party. But here I am into an internal journey, and so Gaudapadacharya warns us. What does he say? He says that the unconscious mind is of two varieties. One is it releases the painful memory, sakashayam vijaniyat. It releases painful memories. Don't try to go and analyze why I have this pain, who caused this pain, how dare they cause me this pain. Don't go there, that is useless. Just work on neutralizing it and taking care of the inner child. We have seen that. And then the pleasant memories, okay, what's wrong? They are my memories. If I revel in them in meditation, what is it to you? That is not the point, because reveling in that is also a distraction. So the unpleasant bubbles come, take care of them, give them to Bhagavan. The pleasant bubbles come and the pleasant feelings come in meditation. Don't go after them. That is the idea. Don't go after them. When the pleasant feelings come, nasvadayet rasam tatra nissango prajnaya bhavet. There is a higher vantage point for you from where you can stand and sit and enjoy the view. Don't settle for a small little thrill, a little blip of a thrill in the meditation. And some people don't know that. Like many things happen. These are all physical things. We are not interested in the physical things. There are many, many things that happen in the meditation which are very, very, very pleasant. And if we enjoy them and move on, there is nothing wrong. But people are unable to move on because that itself becomes the goal of the meditation, and that becomes an obstruction. So seeing light and having pleasant bodily sensations and shaking back and forth and shaking vigorously back and forth because it feels good. But what are we trying to do? Find the unshakable one. Yeah, that is a higher vantage point. The one who is not subject to shaking, the subject to moving, that is the one. And I think I shared here, or somewhere I shared, I had gone somewhere and they said, our teachers haven't come. Will you please lead us a meditation? I said, sure. And then everybody closed their eyes, 40, 50 people in the room. Everybody closed their eyes. I also closed my eyes. And suddenly all the desks are shaking, chairs are shaking. I opened one eye and then both eyes because I was distracted. And then I found all of them shaking violently, back and forth, back and forth. Some are going side by side. I said, stop. And they continued to shake because the momentum was there, and then they slowly stopped, okay? And they're holding hands also for good measure. I said, what is going on? We are meditating. I said, what kind of a meditation is this? Because, I give them a benefit of doubt. If they say it is found in, what is that, Nrisimha Tapaniya Upanishad, I'll say, okay, no problem. Maybe it is there and I'll look it up. They said, no, this is how our teacher teaches. And because it is very enjoyable to go rock back and forth, and the rocking is happening, it has its own momentum. See, that fellow is still rocking, and indeed one fellow was rocking by himself. And so then I tried to teach them this particular verse from the Bhagavad Gita, and then our allotted time was over. They were very gracious in calling me back the next day, but fortunately I had something to do, so I was not available at that time. And so many people go with the pleasant experiences because this is what we are accustomed to. And so one becomes a meditation hog because of the desire to keep on experiencing pleasant things. So the idea is that meditation is not for the experience of pleasant things, is not to shun pleasant things, is not to invite unpleasant experiences, nor to shun unpleasant experiences either. Meditation is for Atma Nirikshanam, to be able to arrive at the truth of the Tvam-pada. What is the truth of the Tvam-pada? Satchidanandam Brahma, which is available to me as Sakshi Avachinna Chaitanya, a consciousness that now has the epithet of witness, observer. So the longer and stronger I stay there, then the distractions are less. So that is the idea. Sparshan Bhakyan Bahihi Kritva. And then Chakshusha, Chakshusha eva antare bhruvoho. So the gaze is antare, bhruvoho antare. Chakshuhu. So bhruvoho antare means the gaze should be in between the two eyebrows. So you fix the gaze in between the eyebrows, at least in the beginning. 6th chapter then says, we had a whole discussion there, fix the gaze at the tip of the nose. Then of course the question comes, can the people with a flat nose meditate? Last semester we studied this. So then I have a sad feeling because I have a flat nose, there is no tip. This is how it is. In many Asian, we don't have that European nose which is very beautiful, aquiline and very nice, and like Julius Caesar from the side. We don't have that kind of a nose. And what kind of a nose we have? Flat nose. Okay. And so then how to meditate? That's not the idea. There's a big discussion. Adi Shankara stands up Purva Pakshas just for the sake of it, and then he refutes it saying, all right, just look where the nose tip should have been. You don't have a tip, all right, got it, all right. But here is a tip from me. You look where the tip should have been, look there. Okay, so here we are asked, in the 5th chapter, we are asked to look where? In between the eyebrows. So sometimes you see the yogis with their eyes stuck above. Okay, that's what they are doing. They are focusing the gaze in between the eyebrows, and then you have to not have the eyeballs be restless. You have to focus there only. And then you always begin with the breathing, because the breath brings one back to the body and brings the focus back. So you equalize the breathing through many pranayamas, or even just through counting the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, however long the out breath and the in breath are. And then, so this is the meaning of this verse, Bhashya. Sparshan shabdadin bahihi bhashyan kritva. So sparshan means sensory objects. What are the sensory objects? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandhan. So this is what it is. So the sensory objects belonging to the various sensory organs or sense organs are called shabdaha. So these are the objects. And then bhashyan, shrotradi-dvarena antarbuddhau praveshitaha shabdadayah vishayaha. So the external world has percolated inside. Then you say, how did it come inside? Puramekadashadwaram. Don't forget, there are windows and doors. You heard something just before the meditation. Somebody was calling you an idiot. You were just passing, you were just going to the classroom. You heard somebody call you an idiot to somebody else. Now what has happened? I am an idiot feeling has percolated through the ears. You saw something unpleasant. You can't unsee that. That itself has gone inside. You saw somebody beating a small child, God forbid, but that's what you saw. And you heard somebody say unpleasant things about either yourself or somebody you know and care about. And then in this way what happens, he says, Shrotradi dvarena, through the doorway marked ears, eyes, etc., through the doorways, antarbuddhau praveshitaha, that which have been caused to enter in the buddhi, and they are sitting there causing trouble. You want to say Om Namah Shivaya and they are saying what? Pay attention to me. What about this? What about that? And so this Shabdadayah Vishayaha Tan Achintayatah Bhashya Bahihi Eva Kritaha Bhavanti. So, how do you drive them out? Don't give them the time of day. That's all. Ignore them. Ignore them or go about your day, go about the meditation. Don't, don't fertilize them with attention. So, if you hate them and try to shun them, that is also a kind of attention only. And if at the same time you start finding out why did they come, where did they come, why was I so triggered, that is also a form of what? Attention only. So, you don't give them any attention. You go about that and then slowly they will see nobody is paying attention to me and they themselves will sadly walk away. This is what Adi Shankara thinks, because in his time everybody's antahkarana was freer than now in the middle of Kali Yuga or Dwapara Yuga, wherever we are. And then here we have many things to take care of. We are competing with devices. Not there, they only had desires. Now we have devices and desires. Devices to fulfill the desires, and all kinds of things are there. And so now the antahkarana is a very complex thing. In the olden days, they rose with the sun, slept with the sun, and the entertainment was one yajna, prayer. They used to go to yajna and then exchange some news and gossip, and that was it. Most of the time they were praying, most of the time they were doing what was supposed to be done. And so now we live in complex times, and so it may not work just to say, I am not giving this issue attention. Because anything you ignore comes back with a vengeance, comes back to bite you nicely. And so therefore what to do? So now we have already seen what to do. So to be able to work with those feelings and to put them out consciously by accepting the situation. That is the idea. So tan eva bahihi kritva chakshuhu cha eva antare bhruvoho kritva iti anushajjate. So having sent them out, the connection is this, and then you go in, you equalize the prana, and then you look at the breath coming and going, and fix the eyes between the brows. Tatha prana pranau, he doesn't even bother to explain it. Nasabhyantara charinau, moving through the nose, nostrils. This is how we can train the mind to sit in one place. Okay, more we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Namevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.